Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Saagar, what are we doing?
We have an amazing show for everybody today. We have Bob Cusack, the Hill's editor-in-chief. We have Philosophy Tube. He's going to stop by and talk about some interesting stuff. We've got a healthcare specialist to talk about and break down Medicare for All, plus some very interesting new polling out of Iowa showing Kamala Harris and Tulsi Gabbard around the same position.
Nice.
Not so top tier anymore. All that coming up today on Rising.
Saagar, what are you looking at?
Well, a day or so has passed, so the full emptiness of Kamala Harris's appearance on the debate stage has finally settled in my mind. Harris's only shining moment, I guess, during the debate was when she monopolized an important debate on the stage about big tech and whether it should be broken up in the very stupid direction of whether Trump should be banned from Twitter or not. Let's take a listen.
When we're on the subject of the role of big tech, and when we're on the subject of what should be big tech's responsibility, and accountability for their business model and the impact of what they do, we have to understand that Donald Trump, with 65 Twitter followers, has used his platform in a way that has been about intimidating and threatening witnesses, has been in a way that is about obstructing justice, including even threatening members of Congress.
Framing the big tech debate around whether Trump should be banned from Twitter is colossally dumb. I really don't have a better way to describe it. It demonstrates the vapidity of how Kamala Harris talks about serious issues and consistently has throughout the campaign. Many of you may remember when I eviscerated her here for talking about climate change by advocating for a plastic straw ban. It's the same type of cosmetic solution meant to appeal to the boomer class. Other candidates on the stage were talking about the structural impact that big tech has in our daily lives and how we want our economy to be structured. Kamala Harris thought it would be a good idea to pick a fight with Elizabeth Warren about banning Trump from Twitter. Seriously, think about that. Kamala's drop in the polls and her consistent demonstration of who she really is and who has devolved also into the people that she hired to work for her. Just look at this exchange that recently surfaced in which a Harris staffer texted the editor-in-chief of BuzzFeed News and accused a reporter of racism because she correctly noted that Warren brushed off Warren's stupid comments on the stage. BuzzFeed editor-in-chief Ben Smith correctly responded, "Do you seriously not have real problems? This text makes me think you are totally unready for an actual presidential campaign." And it looks like that staffer won't have to worry, because given her slump to below 5% in the Real Clear Politics polling average, they are not going anywhere. Just to wait, though, because it gets a lot worse. Kamala's national press secretary tweeted this sad and sorry excuse for a meme. What else can you expect from a candidate and her staff whose attempts at rhetoric flourish, including putting her in front of the word president and trying to appear like a yes queen badass? She probably has the most intellectually bankrupt politician on the stage. And at least Mayor Pete went to the right schools and pretends to read the right books. I know I'm giving her a hard time, but I think Kamala Harris is the product of a bankrupt political system, bankrupt ideology that is really bipartisan in nature, picking cheap fights on cosmetic issues to satisfy the loudest, richest voices around her, but not actually having the courage to fight against the interests of the powerful who perpetuate a system that isn't working for the majority of Americans. And I know, I'm just going off that particular tweet exchange, but I see, that first of all, that meme of putting a terrible Photoshop on Trump's face. I was like, are you kidding me? Plus I'm like, you're so much, I know using the word snowflake on YouTube is probably overused, but my God, you can't take that tweet what is wrong with you?
Well, let me try to articulate this. In a way, I feel like Kamala trying to make a big thing and going after Warren over whether or not Trump gets banned from Twitter. It's kind of perfect for the devolution of the Democratic Party into a group of people who is more interested in woke signaling and virtue signaling and hashtag resistance and memes on Twitter than it has been interested in actually providing real solutions. And so that direction of the Democratic Party that Kamala Harris represents is very consistent with where the party has been for quite a while now. However, people like Sanders and Warren and Yang and others are trying to take it in another direction. Clearly, judging by the response from donors and in the polls, there's a large group of people who wants the party to be more substantive, and so she just looks absurd in comparison.
Yeah, they want structural change, not woke signaling. And that's all, I mean, that's the funny thing, is if banning Trump from Twitter is exactly how a Rachel Maddow viewer looks at the big tech debate, right? They look at it in terms of banning Trump from Twitter and Russia. That's it. They don't think about the monopoly power of companies in our daily lives.
Who can say the most outrageous thing about Trump,
exactly.
Call Macron or come up with the best synonym to Watergate on impeachment or whatever, ban plastic straws and ban them from Twitter. That's the extent of the structural change that there's a good chunk of the country. But obviously, like I said, I think there is a large and majority base within the party at this point who are looking for something bigger.
Her failure is actually a good thing. So.